Welcome back to American Agenda. Bob Sellers here with Heather Childers. Major car maker Ford is being slammed by some auto workers, especially the Auto Workers Union, for plans to move production of a new line of cars to Mexico. Original plans had productions in Ohio, but now its workers are fuming over pulling the nearly $1 billion dollar investment and thousands of jobs. Some may remember Donald Trump doing some corporate arm twisting to try to keep jobs here in America. So you might ask here, what are they doing wrong? Well, let's get to Quill. Why are they? Shouldn't there be public pressure on them not to do this? It's not like once President Trump leaves, people are like, oh yeah, take the jobs and go somewhere else.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's incredibly unfortunate to see these jobs go that direction, and these workers in Ohio are kind of being left out in the cold. I mean, President Biden has talked about this green jobs revolution and that this is a huge opportunity for Americans and to put Americans to work. I mean, we remember John Kerry talking about getting coal workers to work in on solar panel factories, and I think that this is evidence that that's not working currently, but we are on the brink of a lot of opportunity economically. And I mean, I just think about all the jobs that will be available in terms of manufacturing these electric vehicles, and we should do it here. I don't see why President Biden isn't making that a bigger priority and making sure that this sort of green revolution, if that does happen, if there are all these clean energy jobs and all these manufacturing jobs, he should be fighting to make sure that these jobs are happening here. This is a really concerning sign that those jobs are going down to Mexico.
Yeah, because when you think of Ford, Stacy, I mean, this is an American company. You got your Ford F-150. Now, none of us here are naive. We understand parts come from all over the world. You try to get them made cheaply and everything. But when you're taking away the labor, and going somewhere, and that's essentially what they would be doing there. You're talking about Americans losing American jobs, and it seems like that's what the bully pulpit is for, right? To keep jobs here.
So we know why the jobs are going, because when President Trump was in office, he said, you're going to make those cars, those trucks, you're going to make that stuff here unless it's just absolutely unfeasible for you. And if you're going to do that, I want you to come to the White House and talk to me about why that is. Biden doesn't have any of that in his platform. He said Buy American a couple of times, was castigated for it on the campaign trail because it sounded like he was parroting Trump, and then he stopped talking about it. This is another case of union members getting slammed by their own president. They voted for him. They said, oh, we need Biden. He's so much nicer than Trump. He won't tweet mean things. And now he's destroying their jobs. After he destroyed jobs in the oil and gas and energy sector and the Keystone XL pipeline, all good paying professional union jobs. And now these are wonderful trucks and cars and, as you said, green energy type things, which should come from here. We should be the leaders on that, and the products should be manufactured in America to shore up our economy and to help people bounce back from the ill effects of the lockdowns during coronavirus. So there is no excuse for Biden not to come out and parrot Trump word for word and tell these companies to keep those firms here, especially Ford. When you say the F-150, it's the most sold truck in America. Every other truck on the road is a Ford F-150 of some variation. They should be building these new cars here.
Yeah, that's the way I feel, Ted, because we try to lure other car companies from other countries to come build in South Carolina or Ohio, or wherever it might be, and we always think that's a good thing. This is going the wrong direction.
Well, you have to ask yourself, why are they leaving? And the reason why is the labor costs are outrageous. The legacy costs for the union pension funds are outrageous. The regulatory burdens are inappropriate. And then the way we tax corporate tax and what the administration is saying they're going to do to increase corporate taxes. The Trump administration did everything he could on every one of those issues over the last 4 years to make the economic environment in the United States more palatable for businesses, not only to stay here, but to come here. The Biden administration is doing just the opposite. They're kowtowing to the labor unions to make the costs more expensive. They're saying they're going to raise taxes on big corporations, and they're increasing the regulatory burden. And why would anybody stay here if you can make a car, a widget, whatever it is, cheaper somewhere else, especially just on the other side of the border? Why wouldn't you do that? That's the free market system, and I don't blame them.
That's happening with a lot of jobs, Quill.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a significant problem, and I think that the point that we hit on in terms of being a little too close to labor unions, promises of raising taxes, I think that's exactly right. I mean, we need to take a hard look, and I think that President Biden should see what President Trump did during his time that led to so much economic success. Because this formula is not working. This is not going the right direction.
Yeah, the unions seem to, this could have backfired on them, Heather.
Yeah, I mean, just to go back to what Ted was talking about, increasing the corporate tax rate to 28%. We were doing a couple segments on the tax changes that President Biden hopes to put in place or is proposing at this point, and that is one of them. And this directly shows how that would impact and trickle down to employees and people who need these jobs right now. I think 10 or 11 million people still out of work as a result of the pandemic as we do slowly begin to reopen. And then I also think about that $2 trillion America Rescue Plan and where all of that money went, and not going to, try to keep some of these companies in America and keep these jobs.
If you're going to spend the money, why not on that? Why not, instead of giving it to people that don't need it as much as others do, spend it on something like this to try to keep them there. Yeah, it's an unfortunate thing. It doesn't seem to be going in the direction people want. Taking jobs to Mexico, that's not that giant sucking sound, right, Ted? That you got to look out for the people here in the United States. I'm referring.
And when you're talking about corporate taxes, who pays those corporate taxes? The corporations don't.
We do.
It's the individual consumers.
We do.
And now it's those employers that are paying it because they're losing their jobs.
That would be a 33% increase in that 21% tax. And who pays for that? That's going to be covered somehow. It'll be in the price, so they got to save that money. How do they do that? Well, they get cheaper labor. Where do you get cheaper labor? You go to Mexico. It's all connected. So, all right, we'll take a break here. Coming back, when are we going to get all the kids back in school again? Officials claiming they now won't have vaccines ready for kids until the fall. So maybe wait till then? What exactly is going on? And how do we get kids back in the classroom? We're going to break it all down next on American Agenda.